Is now the right time to buy or sell your house? This is a question that I'm hearing a lot, seeing a lot from clients. I'm seeing online a lot where people are just kind of concerned around what should I do? What is now the time to do it? Should I wait? And so I want to just share a little bit of information because buying a home or deciding when to buy a home is definitely a very personal decision. So my answer is always going to be buy a home when it makes sense for you and when it makes sense for your family. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. And so what you're looking for and what your needs are going to be different depending on what season that you're in. What I'm going to do in this video is just share with you a little bit about what's going on in the market. So maybe that might help inform your decision as to whether or not this is a good time to make a move. So let's talk inflation. So we've been on this inflation roller coaster for a while now. However, we're starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. Just recently, the stats are showing that inflation is under 3%, and it's been probably about 3 years since we've been that low. So we're probably going to get a little bit more data, I'm assuming this week. So it's the end of January right now. So we should probably get a little bit more information, a little bit more hint about what the Fed's going to do, but it is trending in the direction we want to see, which means it's going down. So it may not feel like that when you go to the grocery store or when you go to buy gas or pretty much anything, but technically, statistically, it is lower, and that's the direction that we want to see it. So that's good news. Let's talk about home inventory. So new home sales rose 8% in December. And so that's really, really good news. It's starting to see that's significant in comparison to what we've been seeing in the past, which means there's more and more buyers entering the market as these interest rates are starting to tick lower and come down. So that's really, really good news for us. So we'll see how that plays out as the Fed starts to make those decisions. But as the interest rates come down, I think the more they come down, of course, conventional wisdom says the more buyers enter the market. So we've got a bit of a catch-22 going on here, right? So lower interest rates means mortgages are more affordable. However, more affordable mortgages means that more people can purchase homes, which means there's more competition in the market, which means typically the sales price, list price of the home tends to go up. So it's a little bit of a mixed bag there. Lower interest rates is great. Increased home sales is amazing. However, we may see that the prices of homes, depending on the area, of course, real estate is very locality specific. We may see those prices start to tick up just a bit. So now pending homes. So pending homes also went up. So that's another piece of good news. That means that folks that were maybe on the fence before finally pulled the trigger and are currently in escrow. So we're seeing more homes come off the market, which is great. Also not great because we're already in a tight, at least in the DFW area, we're already in a tight market, which means the more homes that go pending, the less supply that we have. And again, traditionally speaking, when that happens, housing prices tend to tick up a bit. So we're still in a very tight inventory market here in DFW. Builders, the permits and things like that are going up. So the builders are trying to do what they can to keep pace, but the demand overall is still really outweighing what the inventory we have on the market currently. Let's nerd out a little bit and talk about GDP. So GDP is basically like our economic report card. It's our confidence in the market. And so our GDP actually wound up being a little bit higher than what was anticipated. It was about 3.3% higher than what was forecasted. And so although that's a little lower than it was in the previous quarter, it's still a strong indicator that overall market confidence in the economy is starting to go up. So that's good news. Now let's talk about the jobless claims. So jobless claims, we've hit a little bit of a hiccup. They did go up about 25,000 more than what was anticipated. So it seems like employers are still trying to keep pace. There's certain sectors where they're taking a big hit. I know tech is one of those. And so it is, I think, industry specific. So we are still seeing a bit more claims. And so that's the bad news. The good news, though, is the Fed looks at that and says, oh, we got to get people to work. So when they come to meet again to talk about what's going to happen with the interest rates, seeing those jobless rates tick up is actually a positive thing because they want to get the economy going. So no guarantees, obviously, but there could be a chance that we start seeing more and more income decreases, I should say, around interest rates to try to keep people back to work. So jobless claims going up. more than what we anticipated, not great, but on the other end of the spectrum, that does help with our interest rates. All right, so what to look out for the week ahead. The Fed, this is, as the recording of this video, we are at the end of January, so the Fed will be meeting here soon. So keep an eye out and an ear out for what's going on there. That will help you get some insight into what's going to happen with the real estate market. I will say again, if we start seeing more decreases in the interest rate, we're going to see more competition in the market. We're already starting to see that now. So the original question is now a good time to buy or sell a house? Well, that depends, y'all. It really depends on if it makes financial sense for you. Now usually is a good time or beginning of the year is typically a slower time. So even though the interest rate's coming down, we have more competition in the market, nowhere near what I think we're going to see in the spring, summertime. And so if you're in a position where you're like, do I buy a house now or do I buy a house in 6 months? I would say if you can do it now, this is a better time to do it. It's a better climate to do it in, just because you have the opportunity to be able to negotiate a bit more. As we get into the hotter, busier seasons, that becomes a little bit more difficult. So again, keep an eye out for the Fed, see what's going on there. If you're thinking about selling your house, this is also good news, because as we move more into the spring and we start to have bigger buyer pools, that means you have more offers on your property, more opportunity to optimize what you actually get on your home. So hopefully this information has been helpful to you. Again, please comment below if you have any questions or if there's anything specifically you'd like me to address, but hopefully that's been helpful to you. So again, totally a personal decision, but just make sure that you make an informed decision. Don't go just solely on emotion. And if you need somebody to help you walk you through your specific situation, reach out to me. That's what I do these videos for, to be able to be helpful to you. So whether you decide to use me as your realtor or not, at least you're making an informed decision. I've been in your shoes before trying to figure out what to do. I know how difficult that could be. So whatever I can do to be of assistance to you, that's what I'm here to do. So with that, please like, subscribe, share if this information has been helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video.